Chilling up in the kingdom. Chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the brothers and the sisters. Cooling out, having fun. Drinking yayan with Yahweh Shai up in the kingdom. Yeah.
Who are we? It's God. That who are we is God. Can't hear you.
Israel.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power.
I said, who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power. Yeah.
Shalom Israel.
Shalom!
Welcome to class again with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get class rolling. Let's get out our little announcements, and then we're going to go into any questions, see what we can get into tonight. Announcements wise, for y'all that don't know, online, brothers in here, we have classes in a few different areas, San Antonio, Houston, Rochester, and of course out here, VA. Classes Mondays, what is it? Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, right? From 7 to 10, and then Saturday morning from 10 to 2. So if y'all want to join us, you can feel free to join us. Class times. We ask you to come. If you got any questions, raise your hand. We don't discourage questions. So you see the classes up there online, the class locations and times. All right. We also got Blog Talk Radio. We got the brother Bashawa. He's in San Antonio, Texas. He does a blog talk radio that we do, and it's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. So you can check that out. There's some good classes on there. Also, we have our other channels, the Hidden True Bible Show, 5 Minutes of Wisdom. We got a few different channels that we throw other themes on. You can check that out as well also. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. If you're interested in getting your garments done, the sisters here, the lovely, dedicated sisters, do the garments. They do all of our garments that we wear, all of our Passover garments, all of our fringe shirts. They do these. So if you want to get a hold of them, you can go to Israel Wear on Facebook, and if you want to subscribe and support and get a fringe shirt, you can mix it up with a headband. You can subscribe to Fringed Up on our website. All right. So check that out. Support, we would appreciate it. We also got Sweet Ambiance. We do natural oils, body butters, things of that nature. And then Chosen Creations, we also do, metal pieces. We do 12 tribe signs. We do stuff for your school if you're interested in that. Stuff for your house, 10 Commandment signs. I got a 10 Commandment plaque coming. Y'all gonna really like that. It's really nice. So check that out on Chosen Creations on Etsy. All right. And then, what else we got? Hebrew Academy. If you want to be a part of the priesthood and you want to take part in the Hebrew Academy commitment, you can go ahead and ask about that. After 6 months, you can be a part of that. There's certain requirements to step up to be a priest, as in the scriptures. There's always requirements. You can ask about that, all right? Hebrew Academy. What else we got? And if you want to get a hold of me and Kwatazap, you can call us, text us if you have any questions or if you want counsel. Our number's there on the screen. All right. And last but not least, if you want to help out the schools, you can drop alms to help out the school. Just ask about that if you're in class, and if you're online, you see the information up there. All right. It is the Shabbat. Almost the Shabbat over here. The sun is almost down, and I know in other places. So remember, it's a Sabbath day. We got to keep our minds focused on the Shabbat. Take that day to rest from all your foolery, chaos, arguing, bickering, and madness. All right. So we're going to start out with questions, and then if nobody has any questions, we'll touch on the topic. Yeah.
There's a question online. Samara is asking, what does frustrate of his purpose mean in Judith 11:11?
Judith 11 and 11. Let's go there real quick. Judith 11 and 11.
What was the question?
What was the question again? Frustrate of his purpose. Sis? Okay. Frustrated so I can, because I can't hear you. I'm deaf. You gotta talk. You gotta talk loud. Frustrate of his purpose. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Judah chapter 11 and verse 11. And now that my Lord be not defeated and frustrate of his purpose, even death is now fallen upon them, and their sin hath overtaken them, wherewith they will provoke their God to anger, whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done.
Right. So let's read up a little bit so we can kind of like let everybody know what's going on. What's going on here? You're in 11 and 11, right? Well, let's see here. So, starting from verse 1, you remember, just to give you a little summary, I know some of y'all might not know what's going on here. We're being conquered by these people, right? It is, who was it? Was it the Syrians? We're being,
This is
Assyrians, yes, Assyrians.
Assyrians. Yeah, we're being conquered by the Assyrians. At this time, Israel is discouraged. They're discouraged on what should they do. And the Most High sparked the spirit in a woman to muster up the strength to actually go in and conquer for them. And she wasn't going to go out in a blazing battle. She was going to go subtile and handle this guy. So chapter 11, Holofernes was like the captain of the host. Right? She was going to go ahead and smooth talk him. All right? So that's what we're talking about now. Then Judith said to receive my word, servant. Okay, so at this point, I think Judas has already made it over behind enemy lines, dealing with Holofernes. In verse 5 it says, Then Judas said unto him, Receive the words of thy servant, and suffer thine handmaid to speak in thy presence, and I will declare no lie in my Lord this night. So she went over there to smooth talk him, and eventually, when you read the story, she's going to chop off his head. Right? So that's where we're at now. Now it comes down to start at verse 9.
Verse 9. Now as concerning the matter which Achor did speak in the council, we have heard his words. For the men of Bethlehem saved him, and he declared unto them all that he had spoken unto thee. Therefore, O Lord and Governor, reject not his words, but lay it up in thine heart,
Right, now he's not talking to the Most High. He's talking to Holofernes. Right, that little Lord. Baby Lord. Right? Because they're giving remember, they use that word in the ancient days to give honor to kings, to men in power. Okay, go ahead.
For it is true, for our nation shall not be punished, neither can the sword prevail against them, except they sin against their power.
Right, now he's talking about us. Right? So he's relaying the message. Remember, the only way we can be defeated, the Israelites, is if we sin against the Most High. Go ahead.
And now that my Lord be not defeated.
Right. No, so defeated meaning what?
Meaning
what? Go ahead, Ak. You got it.
So that essentially means us basically not fulfilling our role as Israelites.
No. Okay, so now they're talking to Holofernes, right? And he's trying to say, okay, look, so your mind won't be defeated by this saying. That's what's going on here. You got two individuals talking. We went over this. Remember? We read this in Sabbath class. Go ahead.
And now that my Lord be not defeated and frustrate.
You see? And frustrate. Go ahead.
Of his purpose.
Right. What his purpose was to do what? Conquer Israel. Right? Remember, the whole thing is like, who the hell are those people over there in the hills, right? That haven't submitted. Right? And then they gave him the information on how to submit them. So he's like, look, don't get frustrated. Don't let your purpose be defeated.
Right.
This is what's going on here. Go ahead.
Even death is now fallen upon them.
Right.
And their sin have overtaken them.
Right. Look at the condition they're in. Don't worry. We're going to win. Right. This is him gassing them up. Gassing his general up. We're going to win. Right. They're in sin. So they're going to fall. Right. Because remember, they knew the only way we can fall and we can be overthrown is if we do wickedness and we sin against our power. So this is what he's saying here. Don't worry. Don't get defeated. Don't get distracted. Listen, they're in sin, so there's this possibility. Right? Go ahead.
Wherewith they will provoke their God to anger.
You see that? Go ahead.
Whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done.
Right. So y'all get what's going on here now. That's why I try to read up a little bit for you to understand that there's two people talking here. One cat is talking to Holofernes, and he's just letting him know, look, don't get distracted, don't get defeated. Yeah. We're going to be able to win if they sin against their power. All right, so you got to kind of read up to get a little bit of context of what it's talking about to get the understanding. All right, so hopefully that answers her question. What else we got? Yes, go ahead. Let's go there. Judith 12 and 3. I just went and switched. Go ahead, read that.
Judith chapter 12 and verse 3. Then Holofernes said unto her, if thy provision should fail, how should we give thee the light? Right.
Okay, once again, without going all the way back up, because we just went over this, we read this, remember, she's coming over there with a satchel of food, right? And he's telling her, okay, look, if these things fail, we'll be there for you. We'll take care of you, right? Because remember, he was trying to get her in the city. He's seen her coming, and everybody was what? Plastered with her beauty, right? So, right, they were thirsty as hell, right? So he's like, look, if your provisions fall, we'll take care of that. Right? Go ahead.
For there be none with us of thy nation. Then said Judith unto him, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, thine handmaid shall not spend those things that I have. Before the Lord work by mine hand the things that he have determined.
Right. So you see what she said? She did a weak wink there. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna run out of provisions. I'm going to handle my business before my provisions run out. That's what's going on here. And she knew that what? The purpose was to what? Chop this man's head off. So, I'm going to be totally fine. The Most High is going to provide before I even finish my mission, right? That's what's going on here. Was that it? All right, what else? Yeah. A lot of these, like in the story, you go up, you got to kind of read it over and over again. Oh, okay. I thought you, okay. All right, any other questions?
No.
Nothing else on there? Okay, all right. Does anybody got any questions in here? All right, you got you gave him a Bible? You got it right there? Okay, you had any questions, brother? Okay, all right. All right, well, you kind of know what we teach and everything? Okay, so you know you're a Hebrew Israelite?
I think I've been to it before when I was in the penitentiary.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, refreshing up on it so I can see.
Okay. All right, well, we'll touch on a little bit for you just to remind you what and why you're here, right? A lot of times people open up the Bible. We've been taught the Bible is a book of religion. You know it's not, right? It's not. It don't got nothing to do with religion. It got something to do with your history and your identity. So just let us, we'll touch on a little things, and then if you got any questions, just raise your hand. But go to Joshua 1 and 8. Go to Baruch 4 and 1. This is good to know, because if you don't start opening up the Bible and looking in the Bible with clear eyes, you can open up the Bible and still be in that religious mind. So a lot of our people don't understand that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that you're in the Bible. Your history is in the Bible. What are a lot of misconceptions we've been told? The Bible is a white man's book. The Bible was written by King James.
It's contradicting.
It's contradicting, right? Because they don't read the scriptures, right? So we're going to try to destroy a little bit of misconceptions while also giving you some basics, or what we call basics out of the Bible, right? And the most basic thing I think has been left out from the churches is teaching us who we are, right? They teach us some spirituality, some, right? A little part, but they don't really teach us the entirety of that. Then when it comes to identity or nationality, they say that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter, but when you go through the Bible, it's all about nations. It's all about kingdoms. It's all about individuals and nations against other nations. Like every step of the way through the Bible. So there's a lot of misconceptions that we've been shown. And the first thing you have to understand is this. Read that, Joshua 1 and 8.
Joshua chapter 1 verse 8.
Go ahead.
The book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Did you? Read that one more time? No, not this book of the law. You got to read it again. Read it correctly.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
This book of the law shall not do what?
Depart out of thy mouth.
Right. The Bible is a book of laws. Right? You can't in nowhere in the Bible look and find to be a Baptist. You can't find that. To be a Pentecostal, to be a Jehovah's Witness, to be any religion. You know, what you can find is a people, a nation that's been chosen above all people on the face of the earth. And you're going to see that that nation is you, your people. Did you know that Christ looked like you? According to the Bible? Yeah, there's a lot of things that even locked up, our people ain't being shown, right? We haven't been told these things because nobody is willing to tell our people, listen, Christ looked like you and you were a true Jew according to the Bible. A lot of our people take on their own titles. Well, I'm Afro-American. I'm Nubian. I'm Moorish, right? I'm all these titles when that don't really, those are just titles that we adopted, but that's not our nation, right? Because if I ask you what's your nationality, what would you say? Okay, Christian, right? Well, Christian is a follower of Christ, right? And that's not your nation. That's probably your belief, right? That's more so like a religion, right? But do you know who were the first people called Christians? Nah, hell no. The Jews, you. Right? So yeah, let's go through this a little bit. The Bible is telling you it's a book of laws, right? We ain't been shown that. That's one of the biggest misconceptions, that we think Christmas is in the Bible. Halloween, we think that Easter is in the Bible. So a lot of these basics are not being told to our people. The laws and commandments on how to govern and how to rule and how to walk in the spirit of the Most High. We're not shown these things. So it's reminding us this is a book of laws. Go ahead.
Joshua chapter 1 verse 8.
Go ahead. Did you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
You said Jews were the first to be called Christian. Would you consider Christian a derogatory term?
No, not at all. Now it is. I mean, it's like now when you think of a Christian, you don't think of a true believer. You think of a hypocrite. You think of people that go to church, say one thing and do another. But biblically, it's not derogatory because it means followers of Christ. That's all Christian means. Nowadays, it don't seem like they're following Christ.
I was asking because the word Christian is only used about 3 times in the word, right?
Hmm?
And based on, to my understanding, based on who was calling the people Christians, it was almost like the people who didn't necessarily understand. It was like they were given a title to something. It's almost like hip hop. Like the people who had everything to do with hip hop didn't name the craft. They didn't name it. They didn't come up with that name. So that's why I asked if it was a derogatory term, because it wasn't a name that we gave ourselves. We didn't say, hey, we're Christians. It was somebody else who perceived us as this, and they came up with this term to somewhat categorize you, to put you into a category. So that's the reason why I'm asking.
Well, let's go there. I'm going to show you the.
But Paul uses it.
Right. So Paul uses it for the reason to show us what? That it wasn't derogatory. Let's go there real quick. Yeah, because the whole point is, even the context, and then we're going to get back on this for the brother.
Hold Joshua.
For 1 Peter 4:16 real quick. It started at 15.
1 Peter chapter 4 verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief,
Right.
or as an evildoer.
Right. So the whole point is he's telling you this is a righteous characteristic that we supposed to be trying to obtain to. Right? That when you're persecuted, not to be persecuted for doing evil. Right, so let's read along the lines of the context he's speaking on. He's speaking on, okay, well, when we get caught up, well, we shouldn't be caught up as a murderer, a thief, a killer, right? Go ahead.
Or as a busybody.
Or as a busybody. That's he threw that amongst all these right here. But you weren't supposed to be caught up doing these things. He threw that in the middle of murder and thief. Crazy. Go ahead.
In other man's matter.
Uh-huh.
Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian,
right,
let him not be ashamed.
Right. So the context that is being used there is not in a derogatory way. It's in the way of the definition, which is if you really are a follower of Christ, well then let him not be ashamed. So in the context of what the scripture is saying, no, I wouldn't say it's derogatory. He's not even saying it in a derogatory way. So that's why, I mean, you get that? Okay. All right. So jump back to Joshua 1:8. Somebody go to Baruch 4 verse 1. Read that. Finish Joshua 1:8. Somebody finish that real quick.
Joshua chapter 1 verse 8.
Right.
This book of the law.
This what?
This book of the law.
So, once again, the book of the laws, commandments. The Most High gave us these things. We're not told this in Christianity. The churches haven't told us, hey, look, you're supposed to keep the laws. Actually, a lot of religions tell us we don't. Right? That it's not necessary to keep the laws. That you can still eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You can still eat crawfish. You can eat anything you want. But scripture-wise, Christ told us to upkeep the laws and hold the laws. So, based on that, we got a whole different government set up. Like this is it's a nation ruled by righteousness and governed laws, right? That's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a religion, right? Even in the word religion. Right, to hold back, keep down, and restrain. We're not falling up under those lines that were keeping us back from the truth. What we're being kept back from right now is the lies, the falsehood, the confusion. Right. So the Bible goes and teaches us about what? Laws, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. Right. And religion doesn't tell us that. There's more moral laws than what? Adultery. There's more moral laws. But they only tell us what? Some of them tell us keep the top 10. Some of us tell them you don't even have to worry about that. But little did you know that there's more laws than the top 10. Right? That we have to govern ourselves by. And those laws, because we failed at them, you can look at our communities and our households and our families and see why we're in the conditions we're in. Right? So you got moral laws, then you got civil laws, how to govern and run a nation. And as you see, America failed at that. America fails at that because they take God out of the equation, the Most High out of their equation. Moral laws, civil laws, then you got dietary laws. Right? They think because you don't eat pork, you're a Muslim. Well, they don't know that the Muslims got that from the Israelites, from the Hebrews. So you got moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and then you got ceremonial laws, which is how to govern and worship the Father. So these things that, you know, once again, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter, that's not even in the Bible. Those things doesn't have nothing to do with the Father. But you celebrate those as holy days, because that's where that word comes from. Holidays, you celebrate them as holy days, but they're not holy days, right? Actually, it's on the contrary. A lot of them come from witchcraft, idolatry, paganism, and falsehood. So, yeah, those are some of the things that the laws, if we would learn the laws of the Most High, that will put us on the right track in following the will of the Father, following the will of the Most High. But go to Baruch 4 verse 1, read that.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1.
So these laws are important, man. And then we could go to who he gave the laws. Somebody give me Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Read that.
This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And the law that endureth forever.
The law that what?
That endureth forever.
The law that endures forever. Right? This is the book of the commandments of the Most High. Not religion. Not I'm a Baptist. Not I'm a Christian. And going into this Christian thing is, remember, we're talking about Christian in its true definition. We are, believers of Christ, but Christianity, we can't have no parts of that. Because what their custom is, what their belief is, how they function, right? How they do, a lot of them do away with the laws. A lot of them function outside of the commandments of the Most High. So we can't even call ourselves Christians in the context nowadays, right? So, read on.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Right.
But such as leave it shall die.
Right. Move this way for me, huh? Right. It says, all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And that's what happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because we didn't keep the laws and commandments of the Most High. And we ate the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Right? What happens? There's more unhealthy blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And when I talk about the 12 tribes, I'm going to point to this sign right behind me. These people right here, right? And we're scattered everywhere. But for you to get an idea of where they were majority scattered, right? You can kind of get an idea with this sign, right? But we're scattered everywhere throughout all nations. But because we didn't follow the commandments of the Most High, we're in these conditions, unhealthy. We don't take care of our body, our mind, and our spirit. See, moral laws. We sing about adultery. We campaign for adultery, right? Whoredom, sleeping with another man's wife. We take pride in that, right? Instead of really respecting our brother. But that's why our communities start to what? They start to implode because we don't got no true black love. We don't got no true brown pride and black unity. We don't got none of that because we don't have no love for each other. So these are the things that the laws would have brought in, but we don't keep the laws of the Most High. We don't keep the commandments, right? So all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall what?
Shall die.
We've been dead. We've been dead as a people. Go ahead.
That's it.
No, read it. Yeah, go ahead.
Turn thee, O Jacob.
Who did he say?
O Jacob.
Right, so Jacob had 12 sons, and they were known as the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
And take hold of it.
Right.
Walk in the presence of the light thereof.
Walk in the presence of the light thereof. That light is righteousness. It is the commandments of the Most High. It is the things that get us on the right path, on the right course. Go ahead.
That thou mayest be illuminated.
Yeah, you see that word illuminated a few times in the Bible. It's telling us that we be enlightened, right? We be enlightened the right way. Because we've been, this world has been illuminated by darkness. A wicked idea, wicked custom, wicked beliefs. So go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Real quick.
Psalms
147, 19 and 20.
19 and 20.
Come on.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
Right, so he showed us his word unto Jacob. Jacob, name was turned into Israel, and he had 12 sons. They were known as the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? When you look at that sign up there behind me, brother, what is your, what would you say you fall under? What tribe would you be?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3? Okay. So your family's Haitian?
Yeah, I'm more like family type of, yeah.
No, I'm saying your forefathers, your dad comes from Haiti?
Nah.
Okay, so,
They don't understand, man.
okay, all right, it's okay. It's okay. So right here would be our biblical names on the left-hand side. So the tribe of Judah today, biblically, or excuse me, rather biblically is known as the tribe of Judah, but today they would be known as the so-called Negroes or African Americans, right? We took the title of black people, right? And then you got all the other tribes when you go all the way down. From Benjamin would be the West Indian, Levi would be the Haitians, right? And then you got Simeon would be the Dominicans, right? So this is who they are biblically. This is who they are, or what they call themselves today. So which one would you be? What's your father? Is your father a black man? Okay, then you would be called a so-called Negro, right? Of the tribe. But biblically, there's no such thing as these titles in the Bible, right? There's no such thing as a black man, a white man, a Chinese man. So where do we fit? Think about it. Let's just think about this. If you wanted to really learn the Bible and find yourself in the Bible, and if you went by today's titles, you can't find that. You can't find black man in the Bible, right? So what you would have to do, you would have to go and understand where you fall in and what nation you fall under, right? So when we touch on it, we touch on it to show you that you fall up under these people historically, right? Archaeology, a little anthropology, and prophecy. You come from these people right here, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? But that's your nation. That's what people you come from, not a religion. This ain't got nothing to do with religion. See, I'm putting that difference. I'll make sure I separate that for you. That way, as you learn the Bible, you can understand that this doesn't got nothing to do with religion. Oh, that's my religion and that's your religion. No, this got something to do with your people, your identity, you coming back to your culture, right? And the culture was supposed to be the laws and commandments of God, right? So you got the Old Testament, you got the first 5 books. Moses gave us laws. You know that, right? Like he came out of the Israelites, he gave them the 10 commandments, and then he gave them more laws, correct? Right. So he gave them the laws, and we were supposed to follow after those laws, right? So read that one more time. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Then we'll go to Deuteronomy real quick, and just give them a little insight. And then if we won't have to, I won't shove it down your throat. I'm just giving you a little by little, all right? And then we'll move on. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 147 and 19.
Go ahead.
He shows his word unto Jacob.
So remember, Jacob had, his name was turned into Israel, and he had 12 sons, which were known as the 12 tribes of Israel. So we come from one of these tribes nowadays. Okay, go ahead.
His statutes and his judgments.
So we have statutes and laws. You know how when you go to court, they put their statutes and laws and whack penis codes out, right? And judge you by them. Well, we had our own. We had our own rules and regulations, right? That a lot of people, a lot of nations grab hold of and use it for their own. Partly using, a lot of demolishing it and destroying it. But this is your laws. This is your rules and regulations that God gave us to govern our families, household, and our nation. Go ahead.
Unto Israel.
He
showed not, he had not dealt so with any nation.
He have not dealt so with any nation. What do you think about that part right there? When it says he doesn't deal with any other nation when it concerns his laws. That's kind of crazy, right? Like, think about it. He only gave us the laws. You know what I mean? And if you've seen the 10 Commandment movie, or a movie, you ever see a 10 Commandment movie? Okay. So who was all there when Moses gave the laws? Was the whole world there or the children of Israel? The Israelites. It was only the Israelites. Now, let's get past the false images. Because they say Moses was right. That's a lie. They say the Israelites were white. That's a lie. Right? We're going to go to the scriptures and show you those were dark-skinned people. Right? So, you got it. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of understanding where you fit in the book so you can understand how serious this is. This isn't, I follow the Bible, I believe in God the way I want to believe. The Most High gave us strict rules and laws on how to govern ourselves and what we should do to live. And that's why we're in these conditions now, because we didn't follow the commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Yeah, his judgments, they didn't know them, but we knew them. We knew that if we broke these laws, that God will put curses and put us in captivity, slavery, and in these different conditions that he put on us. So, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy. I'm going to give you a little bit of Deuteronomy so you can have some proof how we know you're a Hebrew Israelite according to nationality. And then you can go over that when you get a chance. Go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And you're going to read the 15th verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
What's your name, brother? Matt? Okay, nice to meet you, Matt. Go ahead.
It reads, but it shall come to pass,
right,
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
right,
to observe, to do all his commandments.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1:1 so we can show him what was going on right here. Then we'll go to Deuteronomy 28:1 and then 15. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1.
Right.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
He spake to the whole world?
All Israel.
Who were the people that were brought out of the land of Egypt? Israelites. All Israel. So this is what the Bible is showing us, that this is your book. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of Hebrew Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans don't know that this is your book. What did they tell you in church? That you were a Gentile. You heard that before, didn't you, Matt? That you were a Gentile? You're not a Gentile, brother. You literally go back to the Bible. Your people go back historically to being the chosen people of the Most High. Those people that came out of Israel. And I know you're like, well, every time they put them on TV, they're Caucasian. But that's what the white man does with everything. They make everybody, if you left it up to them, every nation in the Bible will be Caucasian.
That's right.
But it's once again, it's on the contrary, that majority of all the nations were actually dark-skinned people. So Moses was talking to the Israelites. He wasn't talking to the whole world. Now let's get some specifics on what he told them. Go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Right. So Deuteronomy, you know where this leaves us, brother? When Moses came out of Egypt, right? He got Israel together. It tells you on this side of Jordan. And he started to give them laws and rules and regulations. That's what we just read in Joshua, this book of the law, right? So he gathered us together and gave us laws. Now read Deuteronomy 28:1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
If thou shalt what?
Hearken diligently.
You know what hearken means? Who knows what hearken means? Just say it. Just say it.
Listen.
Right. Just to listen. Hearken means to listen. So if we had listened to the laws, go ahead.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
So if we had listened to do all his commandments, the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Dominicans, Panamanians, North American Indians, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, right? We would be blessed, we're going to find out. There was consequences that will come with listening, right?
God,
go ahead.
Which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
Now imagine that, Matt. Imagine not having to deal with the crack in our communities, the dope, the bloodshed, the majority of our people being in prison, right? Our people being shot down in the streets. Just think about that. If we had listened, that we would be blessed a blessed people. Right now, it don't seem like we blessed, do it? No. Well, this is how we know who the Hebrew Israelites. Because when you look at the so-called Jews, let's think about this. And I want you to just use the imagery. When you think about the so-called Jews, or the people that call themselves Jews, don't they have communities? Don't they have neighborhoods? Right? But when you go down their neighborhood, are they shooting at each other? Huh? Are their kids half butt naked? Do their boys' pants be sagging to the floor and showing their ass? Do their daughters dress with pounds of makeup and go to the mall and get solicited by young thugs? Do they go through that? No, they don't go through that. They don't have to deal with that. It's almost like they're blessed, right? But the thing is this. Check this out. Read on.
Above all nations of the earth.
Right, above all nations on the face of the earth. That's what the Most High would have done to us. The Most High would have lifted us up above all nations. That sounds like what? Favoritism. Right? And a lot of times when you get into this conversation about God and who He loves, right? They don't separate. They're like, well, that's for everybody. Well, if that's the case, what about these kids getting shot down in the street? Right? So-called innocent people being murdered. Right? The girl, the jogging teacher that just got picked up and murdered in the back of the truck. Right? Where's the love at? Right? Where's the love at that the Most High gave her? It wasn't love.
Those Hamites over there starving.
Right, the Africans over there starving. Look at our communities. There ain't no love going on in our communities, man. It's bloodshed, selfishness, death, broken homes, right? And remember, I'm not statistically, we're not saying down to the last one, right? But we're saying majority. Majority of our people have to deal with these things. And even if you are wealthy, you still lack moral standard. You still lack true government, right? Right? You're saying, well, I'm wealthy, I'm good, but let's deal with really where's your moral standard. You got money, but you still believe on what? Whoremongering, adultery, right? Fornication, yeah.
There's I think it was in Chicago, but he was a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
He was out for his morning jog. Got snatched up and killed.
When was this?
It was a couple of days ago. He was like from Chicago or Cincinnati.
Yeah,
He was at,
social media, you letting everybody know what you do, where you at.
Yeah, he was like, I'm out on my morning jog, and they picked him up and found his body like a couple of days later.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the world is going to hell in a handbasket right now. The Most High is doing His work, but sticking on the point, we're talking about what conditions we could have been in as opposed to what conditions we're in now. So let's jump to the 28 and 15, and let's read a little bit of that. You still with me, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass,
Right?
if thou wilt not hearken.
He said it will come to pass if we didn't listen. You know why I'm not going to go through if we did listen? Because you already could tell we didn't listen. How many times you've been praying to the Father for something to change and it didn't change? Man, if you get me out of this, condition, man, you know what? I'll never do it again. But you never got pulled out of that condition. You want to know why? Because your prayers weren't with sincerity. And most likely, what we all do, not you, but just speaking in general, what we all do is we pray and ask the Father for something, and we really don't mean it. He says your prayers are amiss. It's like you're just doing it to get out of the situation. It's like that spoiled kid. Give me another chance, but really don't need that other chance. Most High didn't answer our prayers. The scriptures tell you that the prayer of the wicked is an abomination. right? So we're screaming out. Think about it. How many drug dealers are screaming out, "Oh God, help me"? Like, bro, you're killing your own community. A lot of drug dealers sell crack to their own family, friends. So a lot of these things, Shalom, a lot of these things, man, the Most High is showing us that we didn't deserve it. Well, we're going to get into a few of these curses, right? These are the things, the stipulations that God put on us because we disobeyed the commandments of the Father. And we can still talk about that prayer too. Go ahead, read that.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So he said if we didn't listen, go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
If we didn't listen to his laws, his commandments, his rules. Go ahead.
And his statutes.
And his government, his governing. Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
Right, now check this out, man. He said if we didn't listen, you want some water? Get him some water, Quadashai. That if he didn't listen, that all these curses will come upon us. Check this out. Go ahead.
And overtake thee.
And they were gonna overcome us. A lot of our communities are overcome by a lot of these curses, man. All these conditions, man, they consume us. And even now, in the end of the world, our people are still suffering. Right? Majority of our people are still suffering in the end of the world. Still going through the things of these conditions of captivity and slavery. Because a lot of us don't want to be free. We don't want to come out of the conditions. Truthfully, a lot of us love the hood. Or you love America. Not only the hood, you got a lot of people just love what? The idea of America. Right? The so-called freedom. Freedom to be a whoremonger. Freedom to worship whatever God you want. Right? A lot of our people don't want to be brought out of these conditions. Check this out. Read.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Right. So, a lot of people want to know, how do we know we're the Hebrew Israelites? Well, when you look at the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who throughout the world, right, are the cursed people, who are the ones in the conditions that, man, people shouldn't be living in. You talk about Africa, right? But you living like you in a damn third world country. And now, I always say this when we talk about this. Don't get bougie on me because you living in a good neighborhood. You forget, go through the hood. Because you in a good house and you got a good situation going on. But let's think about all of our people in whole and see how that a lot of our people are still in bad conditions. Right? Dealing with morals, right? Families, communities, right? If you want to deal with financial slavery, right? We ain't got no land. We ain't got no How many of y'all got 401s? But one person, right? One person got a 401. It's okay. If you got a 401, it's okay to say you got one. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it. If you can't get a 401, try to throw it in, get a 401. But people are like, 401, what is that? What is it, a tattoo? Huh? Is it like every year they have 420 where everybody gets high? No, a 401 is money set up. Investments. Right? Who has a cryptocurrency? Who has a stock? Come on, somebody gotta have a damn stock. There you go. We gotta talk about that. What stocks you got? There you go, see? Right? But think about it, that's how many people is it in here? Right? And then when the other brothers and sisters I could ask the same question. Like, how many of us got 401ks and stocks, and people are like, bro, I'm living check to check. But are you in a crack community? I mean a real crack community. No. But you still don't got a 401. So all these things that the Israelites suffer, even though we might be middle class, lower class, upper class, right? We definitely ain't the what? The 1%. We ain't the 1%. So we got to see that these conditions that were going to fall on us was due to us dealing with disobedience and not following the laws of the Most High. And this is how we know. This chapter right here, and when you get a chance, I know we're going to go through a few things now, but when you get a chance, go home, read through it, and understand how to identify with your nation. It's here, right? We're just going to touch on some major points in here, all right? Cursed shalt thou be what?
In the city.
Right?
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
The field represents the world. So anywhere we went through the world, like if we were to put you over in England right now, right? Were you gonna be different? Were you gonna be called something else, but then a black person? We could use the word nigga, right? But black is a derogatory name.
God.
What the hell is that?
God.
That should be offensive as nigga. Because all nigga means is what? Negro, negrito. It means black. It all means the same thing. So in England, you'll be called these derogatory names. Not only black, Hispanic. What the hell is that? A Spic, right? A Haitian, a Mexican, a Puerto Rican. These are all derogatory names that were put on us because we didn't want to listen. So the Most High said, confusion and face belong to us. And you adapt these identities, right? But they're not your true identity, right? Or you come back and say, what? I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, right? I'm all these different things. You just different titles, yeah.
That was actually the point I was making earlier. Like, it's so much easier to attach a category or a title to somebody who don't know themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who you are, and it's easy for me to just slap something on you.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, like, the word Christian is only used 3 times. And I'm like, it's only used 1 time by Paul. Like, every other time is from somebody else. Like, the first time it was used was in Antioch. And it was by them saying, hey. And then there was another time when somebody was saying, like, oh, you almost persuaded me to be a Christian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was the only time that it's used by us is that one particular time that Paul mentioned. But I just think I think that's interesting. Like, cause we don't necessarily, even today, I don't ascribe to it. Like,
Right.
And I always make it a point to say, like, we ain't necessarily, we got all this, and it's one of us here, one time. Like, it's like, why would I ascribe to that rather than just saying I'm a part of the way?
Well, yeah.
More times than that, you know, like, so it's like just putting things into perspective and seeing what's really happening, like, throughout. And that's why we could be Negro, or we could be black, or we
Right.
could be a nigga, or we could be all of these African American.
Yeah.
We could be all of these things. We were actually Indians first.
Right.
Like, so
Yeah.
those things that they called us before that, it was Indian, and then it was black, then it was African American.
Mm-hmm.
So it went through a process, you know. So but it's easy to slap those titles or those categories on people who don't know who they are.
are.
So as long as we're misguided, and I think that's one of the biggest things, like even in what you're discussing right now, is as long as we're misguided, like, because the churches aren't guiding us. The
Right.
churches aren't even letting us know that we have a God and the helper, or the advocate and the Messiah.
Right.
They're not letting us know this. So you can sit in the church every week and never hear it. You will never hear that you have a helper in the spirit, or a
Right.
teacher in the spirit. You will never hear that. So you spend so much time out here alone and looking to do it on your own, only misleading yourself and actually leading yourself further
away, yep.
So it's just interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I've been on that. I've been having a lot of conversations about that lately, like about how distant we are, not just based off of what they told us, but sometimes it's
You
based
create
off
it.
of what we told each other.
Yeah.
After being told and not realizing that through generations, my great grandmother was probably lied to. My mother thought that was true. By the time it got to my mother's generation, they thought it was true. So they telling you thinking it's true. So now you
That's
way
true.
over here, and the truth is on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But you got to get to it by actually taking on the responsibility of studying and showing thyself approved unto Yah. Like that, you have to.
Yeah.
That's a command. That's instruction here. Like so, and if you don't do that, then you'll always be taking somebody else's word, and you'll be misled.
Yeah, that's why we got the word. That way we don't have to, like you just said about mother, dad, and all that. Let's go to the scriptures and let's find out what the scripture says, because it got to be the word is true, or else if there's discrepancies with that, then now we got way more confusion, right? So that's why we got to go back to the scriptures and understand, just kind of bringing it back around for the brother Matt, is that this is why it's important to understand these things, is to pull yourself out of the matrix, to pull yourself out of this worldly mind state, to really, if you want to really serve the Father, and most of our people want to, it's in your spirit. You want to serve the Most High, you want to do what's right, but you don't know how, right? You heard it from somebody else. So what we try to do for you is go in the book. I should say, rather, what we do for you is go in the book and show you, how do we get these things? Where do we get this from? That we're the chosen people, we're God's people, right? We get it from the Bible, from the book, right? The part that you haven't been shown. There's parts of the Bible you've been shown, but there's a whole lot that you haven't been taught and shown that is going to bring you closer to the Father. Go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. I'm sorry. It's Ecclesiastes 12 for the whole duty. Sorry. Ecclesiastes 12, right? Read that. Ecclesiastes. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments.
See, that's not being shown to us. That we got to come back to fearing the Most High. Right? It says, fear God and keep his commandments. Everyone wants to say they love God, they love the Creator, they love the Most High. But when it comes down to actually doing the things that keep us clean in his eyesight, that's the problem. We don't want to work to get better. And that's where religion is put the block up. It's a blockade that they put up that separates us from the Father. Right? It separates us from the Most High. So we got to come back to the commandments of the Most High. The children of Israel, we went into captivity because we didn't keep the laws. We didn't keep the commandments. We didn't keep the things that the Most High laid down that had no discrepancies, right? Go ahead. Jump back to Deuteronomy.
Verse 17. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 17. Curse shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right, and I mentioned it earlier about our economy. Back in the days, your basket, we dealt with agriculture. So our money came through cattle, fruits, right? Now, let's put it into since this day. Right? We know that our basket, our money, comes from what? We don't got we're not growing nothing ourselves. We're not accumulating land or riches, no way. We're servants for hire now. So just based on that by itself, no land, no economy, no unity to build an economy, right? The Most High said, your basket is cursed. And our pockets are cursed, man. What?
Yeah, I always bring it up, but even when you think about it, when Kanye was arguing with Sway, he was arguing about putting millions of dollars into his business and it not being successful. Yeah. So it shows you, even when we got all of that, right, and we're not doing it through the Most High, right, the Most High still make it unsuccessful. Yeah. He had to go through Esau to have it flourish.
Right, and then he's now dealing with Esau and Adidas and like basically going at them because he's threatening them to back out, right? Because they're not moving the way he wants. So somebody always got control. It's his name, Yeezy. But somebody up there got to distribute the Yeezys. Under who? Right? Somebody got to do that. So you would literally have to build the stores, the distributing places to do it, the name brand. Like, you'd have to control everything. Right? And we're going to go down. I'm going to answer this real quick and then go down. Go ahead, I. You had something?
I was thinking about that too, like how we still have to be aware of the fact that the system is set against you.
Mm-hmm.
So even when like what was just brought up about Kanye, like you have people who are buying, accumulating land, but what they do is they find ways to criminalize it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got these young dudes down in Georgia who's buying land. So now they're finding ways not only to prosecute them, to arrest and prosecute them, but even their families and friends. So they're pulling up RICOs.
Wow.
So they can pull all of them off the street.
Who are you saying?
This happened to a couple of people.
Oh, okay.
But Young Thug was the last one.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me it's because he's buying a lot of land?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
And the reason why is because you gotta think of like the young generation, the younger generation. Like you can have a T.I. in that area, but the young generation don't listen to T.I. They're not looking at T.I. They're looking at Young Thug. So you got Young Thug and this group of young people who look to him. You got the Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Lil Baby, Young Thug gave him money to come off the street, and now he's the #1 artist in the world. So that's the thing, is like once you reach a certain level of success where you can actually make those types of moves, they looking to incriminate you.
Right.
You have to find a way. But the bigger scheme, the grand scheme of it is, I don't want to take just you. I want to take everybody who's around you, because even if I took you, then they would still have the funds to invest. They'll still have the funds. Like,
I'm gonna look into that. I didn't know that.
Listen, his last birthday that he celebrated, his lady bought him like what, 50 acres or something like that.
He got a whole bunch of acres.
Like his lady did it. So this is his influence.
Oh, so they trying to paint the narrative that he's selling dope.
Yeah.
And they over there.
All of the charges are old. Like everything that
Oh,
they
wow.
is old stuff. They don't have anything recent. So what they'll do is,
Oh, they bringing up old stuff in his old past.
Yeah, in order to make it connect right now, what they're doing is they're saying, oh, but they're threatening witnesses.
Oh,
in
wow.
order for it to be something current that'll make it stick. But
Damn, I'm glad you said that. I didn't even think about that, but you know what? Esau, the white man, paints the narrative. They get you on the news, and that's one thing where you got to respect Trump. He don't let the media paint the narrative. He don't. He go in there and he bully his narrative. Like, he knows how to play the system. I just been watching this whole thing with him. He knows how to mention something, how to throw a lawyer in there and be like, not like with the papers and all that. If y'all been paying attention, all these secret papers he got, just to have a special counsel to go in, that changes the narrative.
You have to think.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. He's privileged enough to do so.
Yeah. Well, he's white. He's an Edomite. Yeah, of course.
So it's not
Our people ain't got that power.
If we decided to just go out and say something,
Nah.
it wouldn't make the news. They wouldn't put it out.
They ain't looking at you like that anyway. They're gonna discredit you for your skin anyway.
So
Yeah.
the reality is, man, a lot of it has to do with relationships. Like, he had the right relationships,
Right.
the right people, to where he basically had a whole news station
Yeah.
that covered him how he wanted to be covered.
Oh yeah, Fox. Oh yeah.
So having that media, this is what the Panthers was talking about. This is what Malcolm X was talking about. This is what the people have been talking about for years. Whoever has the control over the media has the control over the masses. So not necessarily saying internationally, but at least nationally.
That's true.
Like, so the people are gonna think what you tell them. So as long as you go on YouTube, you gotta understand that YouTube is controlled by Leo Cohen, who used to actually be an exec over at Def Jam. So these people are in cahoots, like they're working together.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because that's why they started to shut down a lot of Israelites groups. I remember a show we did when YouTube first started. It got over 100,000 views. This was nothing different what we're saying now. 100,000 views. When they started this algorithm thing, shut down all the views, right? You barely get content watch, right? It's only by the few people. They're not going to advertise it. It's not going to go out there like that. Go ahead and say what you're going to say so we can get back on track. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I call it the Bill Cosby effect. Just like Bill Cosby, for as many years that he was on television, he was setting up to buy real estate.
Right.
And how he did all the bad he did or he didn't do it, right? Whatever. But because of all of that, right, they brought up all that they know was happening, right? And they put it on him. So he couldn't go and buy NBC or CBS or whatever he was trying to buy. So it's the same thing that he's talking about, right? That when we come into knowledge of something that's going to elevate us, right?
Right.
They start to criminalize us, and if they already got information of us in the bag, then that's what they're going to use.
Right.
So if you're on your ladder, you know, as you come up, as you get better, as you get more righteous, as you get more sanctified, as you get more set apart from this world, we got to be careful not to give them things to bring up to incriminate us, because that's what they're going to use. That's the MO.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back, because this is along the same subject we're going over for the new brother. Is that it ain't going to work anyway. Because the Most High is not going to let, he's not going to let that happen. Right? Just think about how many rich black billionaires there are now. Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, you got Rihanna, right? Yeah,
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan. You got, LeBron James. Like, just think about it, right? What is still there? Yahweh's still there. He's not letting something break through, right? Read that, Deuteronomy 28:43, real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Right, so you see that? The stranger that is within thee shall get above very high. And that's the point. That no matter what Kanye try to do, he trying to now be enlightened and understand that they got power. He can't escape it. That's why he's frustrated. He's angry, right? He's upset. He's lashing out, right? Because he's realizing that no matter what he does, the power of Yahweh is still there, right? Does he realize that? Well, you never know. You never know. These guys got heavy demons on them, right? But these nations are what? Constantly getting up very high. We can't get it. You're thinking like, man, this is why when you chase money, you don't realize, you're like, man, just one more lick, and that's gonna put me right. Put you right where? Put you right where? When you get to the point of 50 Cent and all these movie stars, you realize, okay, now, like let's go with Rick Ross. I got the big mansion, I got this money, but now I gotta do what? I gotta maintain it. Somebody gotta mow this lawn, right? It's about, now I gotta struggle to maintain it, and what would I do to keep living on this level? See, the way we were supposed to get it was righteousness, and then it would last, those riches, right? Go ahead.
Verse 44.
Go ahead.
He shall lend to thee.
Right.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
That's why they own the banks. That's why they own the loans, right? They own the giving out of the cash. They own the access way. When you buy land, the brothers in San Antonio, I'm not going to give all the information out, but they're trying to buy land, but it's like, okay, but this part of the land, you can't build this type of community there. This area is only for this theme. So now you're thinking like, man, I'm going to buy up all this land, and they're like, no, there's restrictions on what you can do here. See, the Most High, every step of the way, was like, look, you're going to fall under these curses until you follow me. And then I'll start doing what? Opening up the doors. But here's the kicker in all that. Okay, you're a Hebrew Israelite. You won the $1 billion lottery, right? What are you going to do with that? Where's your mind at? Is it seek ye first the kingdom of heaven? Or is it now I got the money to go ahead and build a whole community, right? For none but Hebrew Israelites. Let's think about this. And I know this is an argument that can be had. So don't start it. I'm just throwing it out there. Let's think about this. That one Hebrew Israelite, would the Lord let him do that? No? Huh? What?
I would say no.
What?
I was going to say spiritual riches.
Would the Lord let him buy all this land and say, okay, come, Hebrew Israelites, come on in this land? Why? Why? Huh? What?
Because this is not our rest.
Because this is not our rest. This is not our kingdom. No matter what you did, you think Israelites, first of all, the person that would do that, he got to be on such a high level to be able to invite brothers and sisters in with no stipulations, right? And no weirdness, right? And let them in on this theme, right? And then how are we going to go on this theme and get involved to this community level to where nobody can have outside influences unless we're in the same mind and same judgment? The other scripture says that we're not going to see eye to eye till the Son of Man comes. So there's always going to be little disagreements, right? Until Yahushua comes, right? The thing is that we wouldn't know what to do with it. What is Oprah doing with it? What is Jay-Z doing with it? They're buying damn art. They're getting rich. And they're really, okay, I'm going to go ahead and build a school in Akron. Like, they really don't know what to do with it. That's why I said, what if a Hebrew Israelite that knew he was an Israelite won that $1 billion, right? Could he do that? And if he did, let's say he did, right? Let's say it did happen. And he said, no stipulations. You can come over here. Obviously you have to pay something to get in, right? But you can live in this community with none but Hebrew Israelites. And we own the county, right? I got that from this Netflix series. These witchcraft people, they bought the whole damn county. They made their own sheriff, and the FBI couldn't come into the county and do nothing. Because it was their whole county, the whole land, right? Esau can do that, but us, come on now. What they do to us, they bring the damn crop dusters through and bomb the whole damn place. If you're saying, well, because you never know. All right, we'll see. But I know this, the curses are on us to where we're being held back on a lot of levels because it is not about serving the Father. It's about what? I got to be successful. I got to get rich or die trying. I got to money, and then I'll worry about my brother's spirit. Money. Then I'll worry about unity and brotherhood and sisterhood. Oh, and then when I get rich, then I'm going to work on myself. All that pride and envy and doubt and negative I got in me, I'm going to work on that when I get this lotto. One more job. One last job. Then that's when I'm going to turn over my new leaf and I'm going to stop selling pounds to everybody. Because this is going to change me now. Right?
That's that endless hope.
Yeah, right? What's up? Come on, listen. We only got, if I let y'all, it's 8:30. What are y'all doing? What's up? Go ahead, quick.
No, real quick. When you're talking about Most High not letting it work because we fall under these curses, right? If you look and research, because I can't remember the website, but over 98 or 92% of the lakes here in the United States,
Okay.
black people used to have a town there.
Right.
And then white people would come and kill them, move them out, and flooded it. That's why they're lakes right now to today.
Wow. I mean, listen, I'm sure there's more stories like that. Go ahead, quick, guy. We got 30 minutes only. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's say like someone did get rich
Uh-huh.
and we were able to, get a town and all that. That would defeat the elimination process and the purification if we all had money. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
it'd be full of starters, and there'll be no way to tell who's who.
There's a lot of themes and predicaments we can always bring up scripture-wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is true. Everybody's saying is right. It's like you got to see that our whole goal just now with the few dollars you get, you start losing it. You start losing it with the few dollars. You're bougie and you broke. You bougie and you like, bro, it's like nobody can tell you something. You ain't even making a million. So go ahead, read on.
He shall lend to thee.
Right.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
And they own the banks. They own the economy. They own the distribution. Right. Right. If it's on damn Netflix, you know what Trump said? He said, okay, you're gonna ban me from Twitter. I'm gonna open up my own media company and do it that way. Right. Now he gotta what? Keep getting the support to do it. He's like, I'm gonna do it myself then. That's what Kanye's on, but look, the Most High is shutting him down every step of the way, right? He's trying to gain that. Kanye West is trying to take over the damn world, but his brain won't let him, right? His bipolar, confused mind, it won't let him, right? Yeah.
Even that narrative, like that's one of those things that they project. That's one of those things that they'll put out there just so people who don't support you. Like this is what they do. Like they not gonna say Trump is crazy, but they'll say Kanye is crazy.
Oh, they both crazy.
And then what we'll do is we'll go and talk about how Kanye is crazy, because our communities are without a culture. Like so, what they'll give you coins. That's the thing is they'll give you coins, but they extract culture.
Yeah.
So your beginning is off. Like you coming into a family that's already messed up because there's no culture. There's no culture. There's no sense of community within your community.
Yeah.
So like they extract culture and they give you culture. They'll give you money. They'll give you sculptures to idolize, but then they'll kill your leader.
Yep.
So it doesn't like you gotta pay attention to like even how we give in to what they give us.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a whole lot of narrative. It's a whole
Yeah.
lot of what they say. But when did he say it? Did he ever say that he was dealing with it? No. But they said it. And what we do is we go and we tell other people who look like us that this is what it is. Like,
I'm going off of what Kanye said.
But you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying,
Like
though.
the
Yeah.
narrative is being controlled by the people who have the voice. Like everybody's listening to us. When I was traveling in the military, they were still looking to us.
Yeah.
They still looking for us to show them how they can come up with the
Out of all of this, they still looking at.
and they still want us to lead them.
He still got the vibe.
Still.
It don't matter. It don't matter if he's crazy as hell, or if they paint the narrative that he's crazy, right?
But as long as we believe it, then we won't support it.
But
Because it's
that's what we would do.
Unstable.
But the white man will though.
Because
White people will though.
But they're never gonna say he's crazy.
Right.
Like publicly, they're never gonna say Trump is crazy.
Oh, right. Right.
So as long as we say we're crazy or we're dealing with these things, then
Right.
we're not going to invest in it.
Right.
Like you see a thing like on Instagram right now where they're Shane Yeezy's brand, right? He just released a new
Drop.
a new collection. Right?
Yeah.
And he was selling it in bags. So you go into the store, you gotta dig every piece out of the bag and
Right.
put it inside. They were complaining about that.
Yeah.
They don't know that Yeezy is head of Balenciaga. Balenciaga just released a shirt that's the actual bag.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying nothing about the Balenciaga.
Yeah.
They're saying Yeezy brand is garbage. See, this is the type of stuff, this is a narrative. They control the narrative. So Balenciaga can bring out the bag that you're complaining that you gotta dig the Kanye shirt out of. But you complaining about the bag that the Kanye shirt is in. Like it's crazy.
They want to destroy the imagery from these cats.
Every time. But the saddest thing about it is that we give into it.
Okay, but now let me say this. The reason I'm bringing it out is to show the brother Matt is that no matter how much we try as a nation, if Yahweh, if there's no bearing witness to Yahweh's the power, it doesn't matter what Kanye's doing, regardless. Like, if he's not following the commandments of the Most High and doing it through righteousness, it doesn't matter what Kanye does, whether they're painting the narrative or not. He ain't following the laws of the Most High. He ain't about righteousness, right? It ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, I just was gonna say, what you touching on. I was listening to the brother Samson one day, and he basically takes a verse. I know you probably know it about, whatever we putting out, we laboring in vain.
Right.
Because do not, like you said, do not include, the
Right.
in which you building. So all your labor is in vain.
Right. Let's go there real quick. While we're reading. While they're reading, go ahead. We're talking to everybody, but Matt, just to remind you, if you have any, just like brothers are doing, just raise your hand. You know what I mean? Feel free to ask any question. The brother you brought to class, if you have any questions, just feel free to raise your hand. All right. We just want to open the floor to y'all. What we're doing right now is kind of going over some basics, showing how we know these people on this sign are the true Hebrew Israelites. How do we know, according to the Bible? First of all, we're not Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, because you can't even read that in the Bible.
Right.
Yeah. Let's be real. You can't even read that in the Bible. There's no such thing of these people in the Bible. So where do we fit? And we're going through Deuteronomy 28 and going over the signs. We're getting to that point to show us the signs that will befall the children of Israel, and these things that would have be on us. Where are you at, real quick? For the one you quoted, Kenny, go ahead.
Psalms 127, verse 1.
Just write it down. Go ahead.
Except the Lord build the house,
right?
They labor in vain.
Yeah, except the Lord build the house, right? They labor in vain. It doesn't matter. And I get it. I get what Shaft is saying though. What he's saying is like we can't feed into the narrative of how Esau is about bringing us down, and then we bring our people down too. But we do have to bear witness this. There's a lot of wicked ninjas in Israel too.
That's right.
There's a lot of wicked of our people that are with the enemy, and they're not about the Father. They worship money, they worship gold, they worship these things more than the Father. So, going back to what we're going over for the brother Matt is, except the Most High is a part of that, all that's going to come down. Right. It doesn't matter. What is this thing built on? Are we building it on righteousness, or are we building it on the lust of the flesh to gain some fictitious power? Because Kanye West wants to rule the world. Does he want to do that with Yahweh Shai or by himself?
By himself.
Okay, well, we can get into that narrative too, right? But go ahead, read on.
Except the Lord build the house.
Right.
They labor in vain that build it.
Right.
Except the Lord keep the city.
Right.
The watchman waketh but in vain.
Right. Go. So jump back. Let's jump back to Deuteronomy 28. Verse 44. No, verse 45 now.
Verse 45.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
Right. That's what is a? Let's look up the definition of curse. It says all these curses will come upon us. And this is what's happening to the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you children of Israel.
Right.
These curses are on us. And still in this time, in the year 2022, we still have to deal with these things because we disobeyed the commandments of the Most High. Curse. What's a curse?
Curse. A solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something.
Yeah, there's a supernatural invoking of the Father that said, if we don't listen, this harm will come on us.
Right.
These conditions will come on us. I think one of the biggest questions everybody with dark skin asks is, damn, why we in this condition? Why us? Like, why we can't get out of these communities? Why we don't have black pride, brown pride? Why statistically our homes are single, right? Why? Why, Lord? Why no matter how many jobs I work, I still can't get ahead? Right, but we're not acting chosen, right? We're acting like the heathens. So the Most High said, okay, I'm going to treat you like the heathens and ignore you, right? He said, curse or what?
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee.
And shall do what?
Pursue thee.
And they chase us. Like, just talking about the Kanyes and the Jay-Z's and the rappers and all these rich people now. The one about the brother that got locked up for the indictment, what's his name? Young Thug. Like, even that. Check that out. Even if they are setting him up, what is he not doing to the Father to where you're now getting set up? Right? He's trying to own all this property and own all this land. Well, there's got to be something missing, because it's telling us, except the Lord build it, he's laboring in vain. So why is his work in vain? Why is the Most High not blessing the work of his hands? Right? Right, because we put it before the Lord. The first mission, let's just be real. I haven't heard, just on Young Thug, I haven't heard him say, listen, we're going to get this man for God's people. Like, even that alone, like, let's do this for righteousness' sake. I haven't heard that. So basically, what is his accumulation? It goes back to Black Wall Street. Why did the Most High just why did he do that to Black Wall Street? Because the foundation wasn't on the Most High. Right? Go ahead, Shaq, but you got to be quick. We're running out of time. You good? Okay, go ahead. Go back.
God shall pursue thee.
Shall do what?
Pursue thee.
Right, and it pursues us. It chases us. Right? Even Hebrew Israelite groups. Let's be real. Even Hebrew Israelite groups that know the truth. Right? Once we slip up, what happens? You get discredited, but the Most High what?
Bring it down.
The Most High bring it down. Once our agenda gets twisted just a little bit, right? You making all this money and then you start saying you're the comforter. What did the Most High do? He take cats out. Why? Because you're blaspheming. You're gathering all these people and it's not all for righteousness, right? Why he let T.D. Jakes survive? Why did he let Creflo Dollar, right? Why did he let them survive? Right? Why they gotta wait to the end? But when it comes to a Hebrew Israelite group that knew the truth, that was teaching the commandments, that was teaching the laws, but he slipped in there that what? He's the comforter. The Most High killed him right away. And when I say right away, yeah, it took 15 years. But the Most High wasn't playing with that. He wasn't going to let him manipulate the masses, right, and then destroy and blaspheme the name of the Most High. And is it over? No. If we, as a nation, the Hebrew Israelite community, having the commandments, having the truth, teaching righteousness, the Most High is going to do that to each and every one of us. What's up?
On that, that's the same thing when you read in the book of Acts. If the foundation wasn't built or established on the Most High, he's always going to crumble.
Right.
And that's anything we put our hand to. Like when you look at this camp, it's been around for so long, but why? Our foundation was always solely based on the Most High and what we can do for the Most High. It's a real. You got to really watch on the lines you draw. Right. Like, okay, you need money, but is it all going to be about money? Because once it's all about money, the Most High, he makes it fall. Guarantee that. Everything is all, when it leans over too much, what happened? He won't bless the works of your hands. Right? Whatever brothers it is, not just only us. Whatever group it is, yeah.
I'm sorry, I just want to add on about foundations. every relationship you have, whether it's with a woman or brother, anything starts with a foundation.
Yeah.
And if you make sure that your foundation is solid, anything you build upon it
Right.
will be solid.
Right.
But if your foundation has cracks in it because you're lying, you're being
Corrupt.
not 100% with
Right.
what you're doing,
Yeah.
anything you build on is going to
It's
fall.
gonna
It's
be-
not going to be able to stand the test of time because your foundation is not right.
Right.
And that's any relationship.
It goes back to, just on what you're saying, you use the word foundation. It says, except your foundation is Yahweh Shai, Christ, then it will fall. It gotta be Yahweh Shai, because every other thing we built upon in the past crumbled because it wasn't on him. And when you say on Christ, it goes back to what we're telling the brother Matt, is the laws, the commandments, the statutes, righteousness, right? The things that are gonna really guide your mind in keeping us on the focus, the kingdom of heaven. Right, the principles of the doctrine. When it's not on that, then guess what? It's going to be distorted. It's going to be tampered with, right? All right, go ahead, finish up.
Thank you.
No problem.
And overtake thee. Till they'll be destroyed.
Right, and overtake us till we be destroyed. And that's what I remember reading this in the 90s. It's still the same thing. It's the year 2022, and guess what? It's still the same thing. Our people are still destroyed. Hosea 4 and 6. Let's go there just for the sake of the new brothers. Go to Hosea 4 and 6. And what's your name, brother?
Excuse me, everybody. My name is Eugene.
Eugene. Yeah.
I'm sorry for being late.
Shalom,
my brother brought me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good, brother.
Fellow seeker of the truth.
Where we? I know your face though.
I know. I'm about saying the same thing.
I know.
We're gonna talk after the service.
Yeah, you look familiar.
I know you.
It's probably been around the city.
I'm thinking maybe 811. I don't want to be too proud about that. But
what's 811? Oh no. We're new to the city.
Norfolk City Jail.
Oh no.
I'm from New York. And I'm from Queens, New York, like my brother is.
Right.
Reverend, excuse me. But I've been down here since '99. I wasn't always the man I am today.
Right. As all of us, right?
Right. And I got my past.
We all come from the mire, brother.
That's right. But I know your face from somewhere. You've been downtown or something.
Yeah, we were teaching downtown. Yeah.
That's probably what we're gonna.
I haven't. I do got tickets, so I haven't been to jail for a ticket out here, so I couldn't say it's
be careful.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the Most High has been with me, but it ain't been in the pinta yet, right?
And if He's been for you, who could be against you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm a new man in Christ today.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a seeker of the truth first and foremost. And I've took my shahada.
As all of us.
For me. And I've been Christian. I raised up Episcopalian.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I knew that was, even as a child, I knew that wasn't right because you have a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus on the cross, which is a disservice to young black kids because they can think that you're subservient to the white man.
Right.
You believe a white man died for your sins.
Right.
Even as a child, my brother, I knew that wasn't the truth.
Right.
Because it wasn't the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And God knew me in the womb, and He made sure He knew me all through my life.
Right. Now, what we're gonna try to do for you is give you the knowledge to bring you to the next level, which is that inward man.
The Israelites I've been exposed to, 42nd Street, New York.
Okay.
They were very blunt, they were very crass, and they were very, I ain't say disrespectful, but they told it how it was. Any white people walking around, this is Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
Devils, crackers, they was very blunt on how they
Right. I used to live in Brooklyn, Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Well, I'm from Queens. You know about 42nd Street, right?
Yeah, we used to teach on 42nd and 8th.
So, but your brothers out there used to be out there. The white people used to be scared.
Back in what period?
I'm telling my age now. I'm about it's about like the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
51, brother. I make it look good, but I'm 51.
Right.
And the brothers back then in the 80s when I would cut school and go there.
Right.
I loved it because they was telling the white man what it was.
Right.
And the white man, woman, whatever, devil, she-devil, whatever, and they were very blunt with their opinion. Right. And I've never seen that from no black man. Mm-hmm. And I was intrigued by it.
Right.
But like I said, as I grew up, I took my shahada in '88. Out of fear, I'm in Brooklyn House of Detention. I'm a Queens cat. So you already know that's kind of like, whoa, this is Brooklyn, Yeah. So I took my shahada because the Muslims were so disciplined and they had it together. And if you was Muslim, nobody was messing with you. But that was the wrong reason to become a Muslim, out of fear. When I came, they said it doesn't matter what brings you under the umbrella of Allah, as long as you come. Well, for me, it was fear.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I respected Allah and God so much. Grew up in the church on the altar as a child, as a boat boy, and I had so much of a fear and reverence of God. I didn't play with it. It was so disciplined. I said, I'm not willing to live like that. So I fell back from it.
I got you.
You understand? I feel like I came under it for the wrong reasons, for the umbrella of safety. But at the same time, I had so much respect for God that I said, whoa, these brothers are disciplined and they really are living how they are taught. It's not a religion, it's a way of life. And I'm not going to play with these brothers' way of life. And they embraced me. But again, so much respect for it that I fell back from. I read the Quran, I read the Bible, of course. That's what I was raised with. The Circle 7, I was More Science Temple.
Okay.
I'm a seeker of the truth, brother.
Okay.
And I embraced More Science Temple because it let me know about myself.
Okay.
Like the Moors were kings, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And queens. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm a seeker of the truth, but God is ordaining my steps.
There you
and
go.
He's letting me here tonight through my brother, my homeboy.
Okay, where y'all meet at?
I met him
At the mall?
At the mall.
Okay, that's what's up.
He's coming through, just, being from New York, I'm very outgoing and speaking to brothers. Embrace his brother first.
Yeah.
And I met his brother-in-law, and I love these brothers today. Man.
That's what's up.
And I love the energy in here, and if y'all have me, I want to be part of this.
We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
Excuse me about the disruption.
Bro, everybody been talking tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously. Everybody been talking.
That's a slight of somebody?
No, it's not. It's not. It's really, we always tell brothers, raise your hand, but we let brothers talk. You know what I mean?
You're going to talk, brother.
So it's all good.
And I want to have you know you have mine before.
Yes,
I
sir. Not a problem.
I want to be a part of something like this.
We actually, the brother in the corner is a new brother too. So we're touching on.
You look familiar too. I think I know you.
We're touching on some of the basics.
Okay.
Showing basically how we know that we are the people of the Most High.
Yes.
Right? And we're in Deuteronomy 28.
Yes.
Right? The main chapter. If all chapters, you need this chapter under your belt to know, to prove that you're a Hebrew Israelite. So we're going through Deuteronomy 28. So we're going through the conditions that the Lord will put His chosen people under if they disobey the commandments of the Most High. We're at Hosea 4 and 6. Right. Why are we at Hosea 4 and 6? Because it said here in Deuteronomy 28 that this would overtake us and destroy us. Read that.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Right. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And it goes back to we don't know how to serve the Most High. We don't know how to follow the Most High. We were just talking about it now. We always talk about it, not just because you're here, but we always talk about how do we actually perform the doing of it and become that Hebrew Israelite outwardly and inwardly, right? Because the outward show is one thing, but the inward is a whole nother beast that we have to conquer, right? And a lot of times we don't have the knowledge. We don't study, we don't read, we don't get in the book on really how to serve the Most High. We're destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, this destroyed for the lack of knowledge, I watch, you watch certain YouTubes and black communities, they pull this based on knowledge in the world. This is talking about the knowledge of the Most High and the things that correlate and bring us back closer to the Father. That's above all. And yes, we are destroyed for the lack of knowledge on finances and on how to gain them, but that goes back to the Father.
And each other. We're the biggest destroyers of each other.
Brotherhood, unity, love in the community. We always talk about these things. We don't have the knowledge on how to get there to those levels, right? We talk about this a lot, right? Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Right.
I will also reject thee.
So you reject knowledge. This is the biggest problem that a lot of us, the Hebrew Israelites, rejected the knowledge of the Father, and because we rejected the knowledge, the Most High rejected us. And read on.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Right, and that's why When you first come in, learning the laws and commandments, a lot of people think like, you're not putting it together that, wait a minute, you're actually a king and a priest. You're thinking like, well, I'm just a regular guy. You're not understanding the Most High called you to be a king and a priest. You see that? And a lot of times you're like, man, I just came to learn. I didn't come to take over the world, but literally that's what you're here to learn how to do. It says, seek ye first. That's why you're here, right? to take over the world. But it says, don't look here, don't look there. The kingdom of God is within you. So what do we got to take over?
Myself.
And a lot of people don't want to start with themselves. They want to start with what? Everything else. Now, well, I got to get my finances right. Well, I needed this. I needed that. I need this. Go ahead. What you going to say?
I just want to add on, and we could build on this another time, maybe tonight. You know, you just said we could take over. Man said he want to take over the world. Do you know, as a people, if we had a committee or a black improvement committee, you can have one person because one person might misappropriate the funds, but if you have a board that someone is watching this money,
right?
And if you Google it, it's 41, give or take, million black people in America.
Right.
Well, if everybody contributes $1, if I put $1 in for these young brothers right here a piece, right? That's $19 billion a year.
Right.
In 10 years, that's $190 billion. Well, guess what? What couldn't we do as black people, as a nation? What couldn't we do with $190 billion?
Now, check this out. I'm going to show you something. We're going to go back to the scripture before you walked in. Check this out. We're going to go right back to the scripture before you walked in. Because you're right. You're absolutely right.
I had a brother argue me. He said, man, we still got to buy our clothes from the white man. We still got to buy our suit.
We do.
But we don't. Because if we had $190 billion, black people know how to build cars.
You just missed this whole conversation. We're going to rewind. We're going to rewind the whole conversation before you get. Because we were talking about the exact same thing. Are you serious? Okay, yes. We were talking about Kanye West. He's getting to where he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah, he is a billionaire.
But who distributes his clothes?
His corporation foundation.
No.
He doesn't.
No.
And
he makes it. He got the name, but then you got the Adidas stores distribute his clothes. So now
because that's how he became a billionaire. The
Yeezys. Yeah, the Yeezys, the clothes, all these, his whole clothes line.
He's a billionaire from his and being an influencer. And not from music. He's an influencer.
Okay, let's talk about Jay-Z. Let's switch it to Jay-Z. Jay-Z owns wine. He owns a winery, right?
Yes.
But does Jay-Z distribute that wine?
Nope. He has distributed.
So, yes. Now we're gonna take you back to the word.
Okay. That's
all right. To bring it right back around. Yes. Boom. We made it. Right. But there's certain things we don't control. Right? And the man is still there. Watch, read this where you at. Read it one more time.
Psalms 127, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Except the Lord build the house.
Right.
They labor in vain.
Right.
That build it.
What does that mean? It goes back to what we were just talking about. Right. The foundation got to be Yahweh Shai. Yeah. He was having a conversation with was he a Moor or was he He was a Moorish brother. And he was like, look, why can't we just go ahead and get together and do this for the community? And he's saying, because certain things you subscribe to, we don't. Like when we come together, right? And if you're on, listen, let's get high and let's smoke weed. And then we're like, wait a minute, Yahweh don't want you doing these things. Right there, what happens? There's no unity in that. Well, how about we got 3 or 4, 5, 6, 100 black people, but you got 50 Muslims, 50 Israelites, 50, right? You understand? You got all these people. Why are we going to be able to come together in this unity? Because a lot of times, our logic and the way we do things is based off of a foundation. We talked about that.
Everything, yes.
Right. Well, what is that foundation? The dope dealer's thinking like, we got to get this money. Right? The Muslims, it might be like, listen, it's about Allah. Yeah. The Israelites is like, listen, we don't believe in Allah. We don't believe in the money. Right? So we gotta, how are we gonna do this if we don't believe in the money, we don't believe in Allah? Oh, don't worry about that. Let's not talk about Allah. Let's not talk about the money.
You have to. Everything has to be booked by Allah.
Read it again.
Everything.
Except the Lord build the house.
Go ahead.
They labor in vain that build it.
So this is the point. This is the point of Deuteronomy. That no matter what we did, it has to be on the foundation of the Father.
That's right.
Right? And then you will get blessed. Right? Now, it says wisdom builds his house.
Right.
So, what wisdom? The wisdom of the world? The wisdom of the white man? But see, now it's a whole different set of thoughts then.
Okay.
It's a whole different thinking line. And that's why it says, can two walk together lest they be agreed? That a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Right? It says in 1 Corinthians 1 and 10 that ye be perfectly joined in the same mind and in the same judgment. So we can't, the only reason why we're sitting here amongst Hebrew Israelites is because we're on the same judgments. We understand along the line, right? I'm not going to bump into him high as hell or him smelling like a blunt. Him over here popping pills, right? Or this brother right here, he's thinking, well, it's okay to date 13-year-olds and under.
Man, you hitting on things, man.
Right. So now when you get into the Muslim belief, maybe, there you go. So now we're like, no, we're not on that. So why? Judgment is different, right?
That's right.
You think like that, we think like this.
Right.
It got to be built on this. And black people ain't going to get it all together. Why? Check this out. 1/3 is going to be saved of the children of Israel. So if you split this pie of all these people scattered throughout all the nations, and only 1/3 of them will be saved. 2/3 is going to be put to death. That tells you right then and there's a lot of our people that will not turn to the Father. So we're going to have these small portions that come together and unify. Now, let's bring it down to this little pie we got in here, right? We've been here like 2 years, right? And literally everybody in here except him and his household and my household is new.
It's new?
It's new. Everybody else, when you say new, let's give it a year, take a year or two, like as far as here. He came with us here too, right?
From where?
He moved from Florida.
No, I mean,
from Houston.
Houston.
Right, we moved from Houston to here to open up the school. But let me get to the point. Okay, so we got us, right?
Right.
We can't even get it together. Why? You know why? Because people are learning what it means to get it together. Not in a negative way.
Right.
People are learning what it means to be together. You know what I mean? It didn't move that much. It's fine. No, it didn't.
I'm sorry.
People are learning to get it together.
You have to be on one accord.
But you got to learn how to get on one accord.
Facts.
We went over a class yesterday on the other day about selfishness. Why does that got to be taught amongst believers? Because we didn't know that. And that's where we're coming back to the basics of this is why we're in a cursed mind. Because we don't know these things. You didn't grow up like that.
No.
So think about it. You grow up,
Taught to be
you're 50-something years old. What you might know how to give. But there's other things you might not know how to do. So now we got to come together and what?
On one accord.
We got
and
learn the proper way.
I have strength in what I'm weak.
Right.
I gotta learn
Exactly. And with vice versa, right?
Iron sharpens iron.
Right. But that takes time. It takes time. So now when you look at all that, you see how we divided that pie, chopped that up, and then you realize, damn, how can we get together and get that dollar? Because first of all, and I said this the other day in class, the scriptures say you give a prophet a cup of water, you receive a prophet's reward. How many people will actually get that cup of water without pride and ego?
Not many.
So let's talk about this dollar again.
This black dollar. You know the black dollar is very powerful.
No,
right?
what I'm saying is this. I'm saying that nobody really is going to give up that dollar if they can't get you a damn cup of water, bro.
And you got some that just ain't going to do it because they don't want to split their money with another of their kind. They'd rather give it to the white man. you have things that we had called house niggas
There you go.
back in slavery.
Keep
time.
going, yes.
So, but the
You
black
got all
dollar-
those different problems, right?
The black dollar is very powerful. Martin Luther King knew about this when they made Rosa Parks got arrested because she wouldn't give her seat to a weak white man. Because any man of any shade make a woman to get up so he can sit is a weak man.
And I agree with you.
Okay,
I think we all agree with you.
And what did Martin Luther King do? He started carpooling. They started, not riding the buses, right? What happened? The white people said, hold on, why are we losing money? Because the black people aren't riding. So guess what? They said, them black people say anywhere they want to sit as long as they bring their money back to the bus.
Right.
So the black dollar is powerful.
Power, yeah.
Black Wall Street, I've been preaching about Black Wall Street. You just put on it tonight.
Right.
Or Black Wall, that happened.
Right.
Like white people say, we don't want you over here with us, go over there. We went over there and came up.
Right.
We built banks.
But they killed us.
Stores. Yeah, they didn't like it. They said, hold up, they came up over there.
Right.
They went over there and burned it down.
But why?
And killed us.
Why?
Because they devils by nature.
That too. They're the devil. But let's bring it back here. Let me bring it back right to the gospel. Go ahead, read Deuteronomy. Where you left off at 45.
Verse 45.
Uh-huh.
Third precept. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
That's why. Because we didn't listen. We don't know it's supposed to be about the Most High first. And then all these things would mesh together the proper way. Right? Go ahead.
To keep his commandments.
To keep what?
His commandments.
Wait, but I gotta get this money.
To keep his commandments.
I gotta get educated, and then as I get educated, then I can help out my people.
His commandments.
And I'm not saying nothing's wrong with money. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with education. Right. Money, the scriptures say money's a defense. Right. What I'm saying is what the scripture says is that what are we putting first? Are we putting the commandments, or are we putting these carnal things first?
Carnal things first, things of the flesh.
Right. Because everybody got jobs. Everybody makes money. Everybody smells good in here, looks good, right? So they got money and they eat. But what, as a nation, we don't have? We don't have the commandments. Right. We don't have the laws. We don't have the true rules and regulations that we're supposed to be governed ourselves by. And it takes us putting our mind on that track first. Right? Go ahead.
And his statutes,
right,
which he commanded thee. Verse 46.
Go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So if you wanted to know who they were, the people of God, you would say, wait a minute, these people can never achieve. Why are these people not achieving no matter what they do? We got black billionaires, right? But why are they still not achieving? Right? Because when Oprah got it, she said, I'm going to go give money to the Hamites. I'm going to go give money to the Africans. Right? Y'all got it. She said, y'all got it in America. You got a chance. You got what? Opportunity. Right? Over there, they're hurting more than you. And she went and giving money to them. Right? Look at Michael Jordan. He been had money. Somebody please tell me, what have Michael Jordan done for the black communities?
Nothing. Well, he built some clinics out in North Carolina where he's from.
Okay.
But as many black kids that have killed each other and striving to get these sneakers,
right,
he can give a pair of sneakers to every black child that idolizes him and not even miss it. It's
now,
a drop in the bucket.
Now, I'm not saying they don't try. I'm not saying they don't try. What I'm saying is that without the commandments and laws, they won't know how to do it the proper way. Right? We can't discredit, look at what LeBron did, the schools in Akron. I'm like, damn, that's dope.
Right here in Virginia Beach, built
beautiful.
Back in the hood.
Beautiful. Right, Akron.
Beautiful.
But what knowledge is he teaching those black kids in their school? What? Right? His story, right? So what I'm saying is what the scriptures are saying, that no matter what we do, we're not going to reach the level to where it needs to be until we follow the Most High. Yeah, we put him first. Go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Oh, Gamar, he had a question. Go ahead. What do you got?
Can I get some education on 1 Chronicles 6?
Well, no, we're not on that right now. Gamar, I got you, brother. Let me finish the track for these new brothers, and then I got you on the Chronicles.
You got people online?
Yeah, we got a few brothers online right now from different places. Go ahead.
I apologize for taking it out of the...
No, don't apologize, bro. You're new. Everybody else been here, right? They know they can keep coming back, so we're trying to get to y'all new brothers and give y'all some knowledge.
If you'll have me, I'll be back.
Yeah.
That's what I need in my life.
This is why we here. You know what I mean? So don't apologize. It's all good. Go ahead.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
Right.
With joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
And when we find out that the laws that we have to do, a lot of time it ain't with joy. We find out that no more pork. You're like, man, damn. No more shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, caviar, crawfish, chitlins, right? You're like, damn.
I know, like,
right? You know, exactly, right? So you gotta, a lot of our people don't want to put it away.
Yeah.
A lot of our people are like, man, damn, there's too many restrictions and rules when it comes to this Yahweh, right? Huh?
you gotta put the blunt down.
You gotta put the blunt down.
Put down everything.
You gotta stop whoremongering. You gotta stop these things. Or how about just, no, I gotta forgive a brother. I can't leave him on red.
That's my hardest one.
That's all the black man and black woman and Hispanic man is what? You know what? I'm non-confrontational, so the best thing to do is leave you on red. Hey, brother, you good? I ain't gonna answer it because I don't want to fight. Right? It's like, well, won't you do what the scriptures say, which is talk, communicate, love, let go, forgive. So it's a lot of these things. You see, now we're talking about the inward, right?
Forgiveness is for you. It's not for the person you're forgiving. It's for you because it's staying inside of you and it's growing like a cancer.
Right? It is for them too because
It's for you.
it's for them too, and it's for the Father because he says, how could you say you love him and you hate your brother? So it's just things like that. And of course we can go to many things, right?
Right.
That we have to relearn. Go ahead.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart.
Right?
For the abundance of all things.
Meaning for everything. Everything we wanted, it was supposed to be through the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
And that's what we were talking about when we were talking about the rappers and Kanye, is that no matter how much money we're getting, no matter how much success we're getting, it's always a block there because they're not doing it for the Father. They're not doing it for righteousness. It always comes back down to you're complaining about somebody blocking you, right? Even Kanye, if he is doing the right thing, think about it. His complaint is like, look, y'all trying to stop me. Who's y'all?
But you know, Kanye, when he lost his mother, he lost part of his mind. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. We go ahead and read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Go ahead.
And hunger.
And what?
And hunger.
Right. So when we need food, do you know you need land to grow this food?
Yes.
Could you grow it like back in the ancient days?
Uh-huh.
No. Like our people don't even know how to damn deal and have the patience to deal with a garden.
How was it grown in the ancient days?
We had land.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like when you see the white man out here, y'all ever take a long trip somewhere and you ride past the fields and like, wow, what is this over here? And you see cotton or you see you see cornfields. That's what. Yeah, that's all the stuff they're processing for you, right? But all that land you're passing used to be yours, used to be your people. But now you're looking, you worried about your land is what? Walmart, Target, right? Kroger, Wawa, right? That's where your food, the food of affliction, the bread of affliction, yeah.
But at $19 billion a year, we can own as much land as we wanted to purchase.
Yeah, but we ain't got the unity to get there. We ain't got the love. We ain't got the brotherhood. We ain't got the Most High on our side. You said it. If he be with you, who can be against you, right? No one. But he's not with us as a nation. We got to get it together. Look at the Hebrew Israelites that are waking up. We're few in number of the multitude of our people that are caught up in religion, churches, drugs, the streets, right? All these other things. They're not waking up daily to say Yahweh's first. They're not doing that.
First thing I do
they're waking up. I gotta get this money. Oh, there you go. Hit the blunt, hot box real quick, because that gotta get your mind right. And then you what? Now you go out about your day. And then, right there, you're so hazed up, you don't know who might catch one, right? Wow. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then thirst.
And then what?
Thirst.
Yeah, the water. the water nowadays. Come on, look at the water. They control all these things. So even in that, Will Smith's son started his own bottled water thing. Yeah, he started his own bottled water thing. And I was like, man, that's dope. But where's he getting that water from? And is it filtered water? Because filtered water is easy. But who's processing that? Who's processing it? Who's putting it out there? Who's distributing it?
Water's supposed to be free, brother. I have a hard time.
Exactly. Why are we charging?
Water's supposed to be free. Like, I don't even go for the buy water.
Well, the Most High said, because you didn't serve correctly, you was going to have to pay for that water.
How you bottling up God's rain? How you bottling it up and selling it? Like, it's costs to live, and you going to charge me to drink? Like,
that's what we supposed to be thinking about when we get stubborn and stiff-necked and think our way is right. And we want to do our way. We supposed to be thinking about the water. We supposed to be thinking about, damn, when you want to get married, you got to go to the white man. When you want to get clothes, you got to go to the white man. When you want to get foods, you got to go to the white man. We make our own clothes, but guess what? I still got to order online because I don't own the cows, brother.
Okay, but why we can't have black websites for you to go online and get? We could be self-sufficient. We can.
You're right. We could go on there and support black communities.
Yes.
No doubt.
It's
right?
Black people can make cars, black people that can throw things, black people that make clothes. We can be self-sufficient.
But are these cats about righteousness and about the nation?
No,
or they wear
they're about their own. But I'm just saying, if in the perfect world we could be self-sufficient, we could eliminate the white person altogether as in doing business.
You know when that's going to happen?
Probably
when
at the last day.
When the Most High switches regimes and destroys America.
And that's coming.
It's coming.
That's coming.
Right now, think about it. We've been talking about black wealth for a long time.
Black wealth really happened.
We've been talking about black wealth for a long time. Everybody been chasing that dream. But what haven't we been taking?
We don't got this.
Because we don't got judgments that bring us together in unity.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just trying to keep the missing piece in there. Is that it's the Father, it's the Most High, it's those things.
Facts.
Us among each other.
You have to love each other.
There you go. We can't do it.
I can't love you.
We were talking about this just on what you were saying about the dollar. This was, and everybody can vouch for this. We were talking about this a month back.
Okay.
About everybody, when they get their income tax, we're going to all put it in one pot and go buy land.
Why that couldn't happen? Why that couldn't happen?
Where do you want me to start from? Read on. Where do you want to start from? First of all, when you say that, the hairs on the brother's arm stand up like, bruh, that's how I'm going to pay this off. I'm going to pay this. I need to get this done. You trying to tell me you going to take my income tax out of...
It'd be for the betterment of your children. Why? Like, it might benefit you, but it's gonna be the benefit of your children's children.
I love it.
Like, you know
it's
what I'm
beautiful.
saying?
I want to hug you right now, brother. But you know,
can we do it? Can I hug you?
Come on, bro. Give me a hug. Let's go on. Come on, man. Let's go all out.
Yes, I love you, my brother. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love everyone in here. And I wish everybody could get on one accord because there's nothing we can't have if we come together.
Yeah, you're right.
There's nothing we can't have, brother.
Remember, you got to keep that zeal. You got to keep that zeal. Because when it comes to working the things and the battle out of us, we need that. Because that's how we are. Right? The zeal he got, the love he got.
You got to get on fire.
The fire we got. Hey, we appreciate it. Hey, listen.
I love everyone in here.
Right.
I love my people. And if I don't have y'all, I don't have nothing.
Right. We need it.
Black
hey,
love,
you out,
black
man?
lives don't matter. Black love matters.
Shalom.
He ready.
I got, who ready? Kenny ready? Oh, okay. All right, Kenny.
You heard me?
Yeah.
Black lives don't matter because God made all lives. Black love matters.
Right. That's right.
We killing each other more than any cop of
Right.
any race.
But we have to start with our example. Us.
And God.
Lock it into the Most High.
Yes.
Right. Listen, did you have any questions?
Will y'all accept me as I'm accepting y'all?
Bro, we accept everybody. All our people, brother. That's what we're here for. So you don't need to question that. You're free to come through. We love your spirit. We love your excitement. You know what I
I
mean?
was hoping that I wasn't too much like, man, don't bring that guy
Nah,
back.
nah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on fire.
No, you know what I do got to tell you?
Yes, sir.
Keep the fire as you're working on you. Because we get a lot of brothers like that with the fire.
I'm working on me.
Until you don't want it to burn out as you're working on the inward things. Because there's a lot of things that we start working on within ourselves that it kind of, brothers, passion. Don't let your passion. Keep that. That's all good.
It took 51 years to get here. It's not going nowhere.
I hear it. Bro, what we all here doing? We all here trying to reach the Father, trying to get right, trying to figure out how to get better.
This is temporary.
Yeah.
Where you spend your eternity is what matters.
Exactly.
It's temporary. Everything you see is perishing.
There you go.
What ain't perishing is the soul inside of you.
Yeah.
And where that spends eternity is what's most important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to open the eyes of some of these young brothers because they feel old head, old school don't know nothing. Yeah, I know something. I know I was once your age, and 30 years later, whatever, 40 years later, I got it. My third eye is wide open. Right. And I know that we can't never have nothing. My grandchild, I'm on the downside. You know, you go up in life, you get to 50, then it starts going this way, I feel, right? However long time God He gives me left, Allah gives me left, I'm trying to open the eyes to these young ones, my granddaughter's children.
It starts with our example then.
Strengthen our example.
It starts with our example. You see these kids?
They don't do what they taught, they do what they show them.
Right.
You can tell a child what to do, but you got to show him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we believe that.
And it takes a tribe to raise a child. So these are my little brothers right here. These are my little nephews or whatever. Right. And I love them. I don't even know their names, but I love them. Right. You feel me, bro?
Yeah, I feel you.
And every black person in America has to get on one side, one accord. I mean, we're prophesied about in the Word. It speaks about us.
We got to get on track. We get it.
In the wilderness, where he said, how many years in the wilderness? That's us.
Don't lose your zeal.
Never.
Keep your zeal.
Never.
We going to see you back here?
Brother, I said if you don't have me,
all right,
this is home.
All right, listen, do you have any question outside of what we're talking about? Do you have anything you wanted us to touch on before we conclude class?
Pretty much everything I brought up is what I want to build on.
Okay,
you know
so
I want to talk about how we're going to sit here and get the masses to want to accept $1 a day from every black person.
That answer is going to be the same. It's going to be, we got to get us right first. We got to be in the same mind, the same judgment. You know what I mean? But truthfully, what I'm saying is this. If you got questions, write them down, bring them. We can go over them scripture. Because what you want is you want the book to talk and then us to give you the answers through the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? That's going to get you there. All right? That's going to get us all there. All right? Kazakya.
Kazakya.
There you go. Yeah.
My name is Eugene. I need an Israelite, man.
Yeah.
I want to convert.
Yes, sir.
You know?
You was already born an Israelite. You know what I mean? You just got a heathen name. That's
I was in the heathen world.
There it is.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I went to church and it's so humdrum. There's no Holy Spirit. Like, I've had the Holy Spirit upon me. I've seen the Holy Spirit on a person. I've hugged a person and felt the Holy Spirit. He was so anointed with it. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in, there's no Holy Spirit. I seen a 90-year-old lady who came into church with a walker, get hit that Holy Spirit, and she took off running. And as run as fast as she could at 90, mm-hmm. but she didn't use no walker. She ran around the church, Calvary Revival Ministry. Okay. And like I said, I always knew even as a child, I guess that my father would not let me be ignorant. That blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus that I always seen across, I can see right now in my head because I grew up seeing it, was not the truth. Right. Even the region where he was from screams that's the truth. That was the slave master's depiction of Jesus because they wanted slaves to feel subservient to the white man. Right. A white man died for your sins, so be grateful. Yep. And it was a lie straight out of hell.
Does anybody got? Well, listen. I'm gonna answer Gamar's question. I'll get with him. He's not going nowhere. It's 9. Well, I'm gonna say this. Remind y'all, it's the Shabbat. It is the Sabbath. Let's keep our heads in the book. Keep our minds on the Most High this day. Let's salute them online. Everybody say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all in the Sabbath morning class. And what we're going to do is say a quick prayer. We're going to face the east in this corner.